A low-carb diet allows you to eat many hearty and satisfying foods, but like any diet, you can get bored if you are always eating the same thing. In this video, I'll introduce you to 5 out-of-the-ordinary foods that are packed with flavor and nutrients so you can breathe new life into your low-carb diet. Let's start with 2 foods that are great for gut health and your waistline. The first is kimchi. Kimchi is fermented cabbage made with salt and different spices. It's a traditional Korean dish that is great to use as a condiment in place of sugary ketchups and barbecue sauces. So if you miss those items in your low-carb diet, you will find that kimchi works to give a lift to otherwise drab foods like meatballs or meatloaf, especially if you go for a spicier variety like we like here in our home. It also serves as a healthy and flavorful side dish for grilled meats. If you are not a spicy fan, you might want to add sauerkraut to your low-carb diet. Like kimchi, sauerkraut is fermented cabbage. The difference is that kimchi tends to be Napa cabbage mixed with spices, and it's served with larger chunks than the finely shredded cabbage that you're used to seeing with sauerkraut. Now you can make sauerkraut yourself, but it is a smelly and messy process. I like to get it from local farmers markets, but you can also pick it up at the grocery store like I did for this example for this video. And I will say that I was never a fan of sauerkraut's sour taste when I was young and I ate a lot of sugar, and that was likely due to the sugar in my diet, which has been shown to deaden your taste buds. And if you're interested in that research, I have that presented in my video titled "Can I Lose My Taste for Sugar?" But the good news is that when you cut out sugar and follow a low-carb diet, you find that you can enjoy a much broader range of flavors. So if you've tried sauerkraut in the past and you didn't care for it, I encourage you to try it again. Sausage and sauerkraut is a great comfort meal, and sauerkraut goes with other meats as well. Also, because kimchi and sauerkraut are mainly cabbage, they are naturally low in calories, with half a cup serving having only about 15 or 20 calories. But for those few calories, you are getting a whole host of health benefits, mainly because of the way these foods are fermented. Kimchi and sauerkraut are fermented through a process called lactofermentation. Because of this process, they contain a specific type of healthy bacteria called lactobacillus. If you take a probiotic, you will likely notice that name on the bottle. That's because it has been found to be one of the most beneficial probiotics for supporting your health and protecting you from disease. The next food on our list is pesto. Pesto can be used like a condiment and goes great with different meats, and the benefit of using it in this way is that you bypass the sugary condiments and sauces and you load up on healthy fats. That perk comes from the fact that pesto is typically made out of olive oil and pine nuts, and then it's mixed with basil and a hard cheese like Parmesan. And the high fat content makes it a great match for lower fat foods like chicken and fish. But if you try it and you like it, you can get really creative with pesto. You can put it in eggs, you can put it in vegetables, or you can just put a dollop in a thing of soup. And a dollop is all that you need. A little pesto will add a lot of flavor, and with about 7 grams of fat and less than 1 gram of carbs per tablespoon, it is a great way to improve the macros on your low-carb or keto diet. I will say one side note, you can find pesto at your local grocery store, but read the ingredients to make sure that it has olive oil in it and not an unhealthy vegetable oil like soybean oil. Another sauce that you might not be utilizing on your low-carb diet is Alfredo sauce. On a low-carb diet, we don't eat pasta, not only because pasta is a refined carbohydrate, but also because pasta sauce is generally high in carbohydrates and added sugar. However, the sauce that we can enjoy on a low-carb diet is Alfredo sauce. We still have to avoid the pasta, but this high-fat, low-carb sauce is an excellent way to boost the flavor of cooked vegetables. If you're in a hurry, open a bag of frozen broccoli, steam it for about 8 minutes, and heat up a 1/4 cup of Alfredo sauce. That amount of sauce will provide you with 8 grams of fat for only about 2 grams of carbohydrates. And like Pesto Alfredo sauce is easy to find at your local grocery store, but finding a brand without soybean oil can be challenging. If you enjoy cooking, you can make homemade Alfredo sauce with butter, cream, and Parmesan cheese. But either way, Alfredo sauce is worth your while. And if you follow me, you know that my 0123 strategy shares the benefits of eating cooked non-starchy vegetables. So having this sauce on hand is going to help you get your veggies in for the day. Another food that is going to work great for boosting your macros on a low-carb diet is hemp seeds. 1 tablespoon of hemp seeds gives you about 5 grams of fat and less than 1 gram of carbs. And if you are not a big meat or fish eater, hemp seeds are a very good source of plant protein with about 3 grams of protein in a single tablespoon. And one of the best things about hemp seeds is that they are super easy to include in your diet because they have a very mild flavor. So you can hide them in recipes that call for ground beef, like meatloaf or making your homemade burger patties. You can also sprinkle them on salads to get the benefits of the healthy omega-3 fats that they contain. So these are 5 foods that will help you break out of your normal routine without breaking the rules on your low-carb diet. But you have to get them to fit into an overall plan to really see the results on the scale and in your health. There's a lot of information out there, and I realize that it can be easy to feel overwhelmed by it all. It helps to have a solid foundation that you can get started and get back on track if that is what you need to do. Tens of thousands of people have used my 0123 strategy in these ways, and I invite you to download it and watch the free video series that I put together to teach you how to get the most out of the strategy. Those videos are not available here on YouTube, but you can watch them over on my website, which I will link to. Thanks for watching. Please click the subscribe button before you go, and have a great week.